is Jordan from the Sandy Hut in Portland, Oregon, and you're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
This is The Lizard, and you're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars, the podcast that blends the modern scooter lifestyle with a twist of the paranormal over a cool cocktail.
This independent podcast follows a group of modern Vespa riders in search of classic pubs, dive bars, and haunted taverns. This is not smart or safe, but it is really fun. Please do not attempt this at home.
So welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars, the podcast. This one is called RipCity 18. 40 bars in 40 days.
4 days.
Hey, Moses.
Hey,
This is not 40 days.
We met some fabulous people and enjoyed classic pubs and dive bars. We even grabbed a story or two from haunted taverns. We'll have a little scooter news and also shamelessly promote ourselves and others. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's get started.
Hi, this is Dawn at Tucker's Place Bar in Soulard, St. Louis, Missouri, and you're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters and Bars.
So welcome, Shelly. Welcome, Lizard. How you guys doing?
Good to be here, as always.
Yep, I'm so happy.
Yeah, so I'd be recovered from our big ride?
It did take a few days, but yeah, we got through it.
My liver's still at 39%.
It's flip-flopping.
Like a fish on the banks.
Hey, have you started following us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter? If you haven't, please do. Just search Scooters, Ghosts, and Bars, and you'll find us because we are the #1 podcast in that category. And not just for podcasts, by the way, guys. Did you know that?
No.
Now we're the #1 Scooter, Ghost, and Bar social media site in the world.
Well,
Unbelievable.
But you've held that title for a while now, haven't you?
I don't know, but we do outrank all other Scooter, Ghost, and Bar sites. I just want you to know that.
Well, hell, that is #1.
With growth like that, we'll be hearing from Bezos soon, I'm sure. Our website is chasingghost.net. And don't forget our singularly unique Alexa skill called Chasing Ghosts Pod. Just ask Alexa to enable us.
Where are you headed next with this technology thing?
I don't know. I don't know
Us
what else
so
there
much.
is.
Every season you bring something new to the table. What is season 3 bringing?
I'm thinking that we're going to go to video.
What?
Yeah. I think we're going to go to YouTube. We're going to start bringing our camera with us and just video it, follow you around. You know what happened to me when
like
Keith
a
was
GoPro?
following me. Like a GoPro that started a few years ago.
I think we need a live studio audience.
We talked about doing that. We were going to do a live recording here. Don't we have an audience today?
Yes, we do.
There it is. We got to start somewhere.
We've got
And
Coach
there's one.
Kent Nevin with us tonight. He did a little ride, went to Dave's, went to the mill, joined us.
And the Milton Lodge.
That's right.
Hi, this is Pam Bernal at the Wigwam Tavern in Scappoose, Oregon, and you're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
Hey, Mark.
Yo.
Scooter news!
I love scooter news.
Well, man, this morning I saw a story on...
You know, where there's smoke, there's fire.
That's right. And I saw a story on Como TV, the ABC affiliate here in the Seattle-Tacoma area, that covered an electric scooter.
Okay, you saw that at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Because I keep TV on all night long
That's
in my
what,
room.
Yeah, that's what I saw the same episode.
Yeah, it was on video. And since we've covered a couple of really cool electric scooters in Scooter News in the past, I thought it would be fair reporting that we covered a little negative electric scooter news.
Well, we've always talked about
Here
safety
we are,
first.
fair and unbiased.
That's right. So here we are. We're in Beijing. Lonnie, you know where that is, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
You like the Asian population, don't you?
That's nice.
Okay, so it happened in Beijing, and the owner, Zhang, purchased a scooter online from Shingqing,
Okay, stop it.
the manufacturer of the scooter. And he
I thought you were going somewhere
No,
else.
that was the name
Okay,
of it.
yeah.
So he brought it home. He puts it on the charger. He rode it a little bit, but it had to charge for 8 to 12 hours. At hour 7, the thing blew up. I mean, if you go to electric scooter fire and do a search online with Bing or Google
or Zhang's
YouTube, place, you can watch this thing blow up. He grabs his daughter. Everybody's safe. Everybody's fine. The manufacturer came out and investigated the site, but it's under review.
But do you think he panicked a little bit? I mean, he just bolted out of there.
Did you see the smoke? Did you see it blowing out?
Throw a blanket over it.
Zhang had the scooter in his living room.
Well,
when was the last time you had your scooter in your living room?
Well, if it's our P180, I would put that in my living room.
I'd sleep with that bitch.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway,
you do that a lot, Lon.
Here's the thing. He got out fine. We wish Zhang the best and suggest he purchase a quality gas scooter from our friends at Vespa Portland.
Oh. Yeah. So Zhang, if you're listening, go to Portland, Oregon. They will fix you up.
They'll ship it right off to you. No tariffs. Scooter news number 2.
We have more than one?
Yeah, our friend.
Well, you've been doing your research.
Scooter in the Sticks blog guy has a photo exhibition of his Vespa landscape pictures at the Art Alliance Gallery in the State College of Pennsylvania. According to the gallery, and they're saying this, these photos reflect experiences, discoveries, and revelations while riding a Vespa scooter. The show runs...
What does that mean?
I don't know. The show runs August 3rd through the 26th. And he's been writing this really cool scooter blog, scooterinthesticks.com, by the way, for the last 13 years. So check out Steve Williams and give him the support because he's a beautiful rider and a great photographer. In fact, he taught photography.
He's the one that scooted in the wintertime.
That's right. He taught photography at that college, or at a college in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure it's that one. And
he wasn't at Penn State, was he?
No, he
some trouble that went down there.
He may have his eye on you.
Did you know that Steve Williams was Tiger Woods' caddy at one time?
So this guy is multifaceted.
Maybe a different Steve Williams.
Yeah, there's probably a few in the world.
Right. There's 4.
So anyway, check out scooterinthesticks.com.
This is Rhea at Dave's in Milton, Washington, and you're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters and Bars.
Hey guys, how was our ride today?
Well, we had to have a little warm-up ride for this podcast, so where'd we start?
Well, we started at the newly opened Milton Lodge.
Been shut for 3 or 4 years?
It's been shut down for a while, and it finally reopened by the people that owned the bullpen that was up in the Burien area, which was a classic bar. Open for
Excuse him, he is in his 60s.
37 years, owned by a family. He got shut down because of a fire, and now they've reopened the Milton Tavern, now the Milton Lodge.
I wonder if they had an electric scooter in their bar that started that.
Could have happened.
If they didn't get it out in time, it might have.
Lonnie, how'd you like it?
Well, you know what? The new Milton Tavern, the Milton Lodge, as they call it, is right down the hill, and it's nice to have a watering hole only a couple of miles away. So what a bonus! Yeah. Everybody should have a neighborhood bar.
Right.
Did you notice that they took all the smelly carpet out, smelly cat, and then they put plywood on the floors and then stained it. You can see all the grain in the plywoods. They stained all the bar with
whole thing's
stains
repainted.
in there. Everything's hard surfaces, so they were smart about that. They gave it a lodge feel with mounts on the walls and furs on the walls. So pretty cool, pretty nice. Thank you, Greg. We met the whole family. We met Shauna, the owner. We met Cheryl, her mother.
Yep.
There was uncles and aunts and
nephews,
cousins,
brothers, sons.
Everybody was working
Sons
because they'd all been.
They were all there
remodeling. Yeah.
Yep.
So welcome back to the neighborhood, the Milton Lodge. We're glad to have you. We're not going to rate you yet until you have a chance to really get your act in order. But we had a nice
start
there.
Nice start. They have a chance to really get their act in order and pump us some drinks.
Yep. Well, they did get a free sticker. They should comp us drinks for life.
Hey, this is Dawn. I'm at Vespa Portland, and this is Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
So, dudes, we had a great ride in Oregon.
It was nice. It was a nice run.
It was namely Vancouver to Portland to Seaside, and then back to Portland with our goal to hit 40 bars in 4 days. How do we end up?
You know what? Disappointingly, but not so disappointingly, just one shy. We hit 39, but it gives us a reason to go out next year, Lizard.
But you know what? We were at 39, and there was a bar across the street. and we elected to leave a little meat on the bone and leave it for next year.
Oh, man. And the thing is, we all agreed. We did not want to hit the goal because we were all worried we weren't allowed to go out again after that.
There's always got to be more.
It is such a crazy and wild ride that we don't want to give anybody a reason to take it away from us.
Good strategy.
So
there will be a season 4.
It seems like there will be. We start each season with this ride. This will be our 3rd season, episode 1, and you're listening to it now. And our first stop, if you remember, was the barn in North Portland.
Yep. Well, we took off early from Tacoma to head down to Vancouver to start our day. So we started it much earlier. But this is our official first
4
stop.
or 5 a.m. Was that what time it was?
Yeah, it was the barn.
But we ended up at the barn at about 9 a.m.
Yep.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice, cool little neon sign out front.
Yeah, old rustics with a bunch of add-ons to the bar. Certainly classified as a dive bar.
Yep. In the best sense.
Beer and wine only. Mismatched floors and walls, unpainted in spots, odd little T-shaped sitting area. There was a nice dude bartending, right?
And you know what? This is good because you were taking good notes at this point.
Right.
And I think your notes will fade here as the episode
They
goes
will.
on.
I'll just start making stuff up as we go along. I gave him a sticker. Now remember, this place is just about falling down, right?
And it was 8:30
That's the
a.m.
charm. It was 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. It's just about a falling down place. I give him a sticker and say, hey, why don't you put our sticker up behind the bar? And he goes, oh, my God, the owner would kill me if I tried to decorate.
It was cute.
It was. We sort of smiled, so I stuck one right over the shitter.
There's another story about that, too, later on in the podcast.
I would say scoot to it anytime you want to if you really want to slum in North Portland. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in the Kenton area.
In the Kenton area. From there, we headed to the St. John's Pub. Is that right?
Yep.
That's in St. John's.
In St. John's.
That's
Excellent.
a neighborhood. It's a McMiniman's property that opened early for us and let us have a drink. Do you remember? As long as we ordered beer or wine.
Right. No, we set that up ahead of time, the Lizard and I, and he said, more than happy to have you if it fits your schedule, and so we took advantage of it.
So we all ordered a beer or a wine until we got to Bobby Chong. Do you remember what he ordered?
He ordered, whatever, like coffee.
An Irish coffee.
Yes.
So
Takes 6 minutes.
Yeah, he had to go make the heavy cream. He had to make coffee.
He didn't hear us.
Bob?
Yeah. He didn't hear the instructions.
Why is that?
Well, he's that poor bastard, though, that was behind the bar going, should I fight with the old guy?
Or go with heavy cream, Jameson, and coffee.
There we go. But however, a beautiful place with a theater that they moved from some other place into that neighborhood.
Yeah,
There's a dome ceiling.
Right, and they've got an upper balcony deck area that looks out underneath or over toward the bar. You got the theater behind it. Quaint little place. Trees cover it. It's almost inconspicuous.
You have to
Very
look
cool.
for it.
Yeah.
You have to look for it too. But we pulled our scooters out front. Derek, the bartender, came out, took a photo of us, and told us a story about he was an extra in Portlandia.
That's right.
When they filmed
Yes.
it right in that place.
Yeah.
So very cool, and thank you, McMiniman's and St. John's Pub for a nice visit.
Nice stop, yes.
Other than the Irish coffee. Did you hear Keith? I didn't know I could order that.
He was disappointed. He wanted to go back.
From there, we went to Slim's, also in St. John's, right?
Yep.
Very old, classic haunt where we had breakfast. Very big.
Great breakfast sandwich.
Yeah,
I'm
you were
telling
pretty
you,
happy.
oh,
Now, we
Lord.
were there for like 2 hours because the guy would cook one thing at a time, and there were 7 of us. So he would cook one, bring it out, cook another, and you were first.
The lizard ordered first and got his last. And
I probably should have ordered lunch instead.
The good news about that place is they put our sticker on their tab box, and I took a picture. It's on Instagram. Go to Chasing Ghost Pod on Instagram, and you'll find it.
What a whore.
Then we did a quick drop-in to Sabatino's Vintage Scooter and Moped Shop. That was right nearby. Do you guys remember that?
Yes. Nice little...
We met Eric.
Yep.
He's the owner there, and his friend and worker there, Jesse. But Eric, I don't know if you heard this, is also a very popular musician that travels all over the country, and he informed us that he has a secret studio next door.
But
Wait, shoot.
don't say that.
It's secret. Anyway, we took a great picture outside. It's a very cool and busy place with nice people, and we all picked up a collectible Sabatino sticker.
And
I said it right.
well, for the first time, I got a helmet too.
Oh, you did buy a
That's
helmet.
I purchased a helmet.
Did he
I
give you a
couldn't
deal?
pass it
Did he
up.
give you a discount?
Yeah, he gave me no tax.
No, he didn't. I don't think I saw a discount on
No,
that.
it was no
That would
no
be
tax.
the
just the
Oregon
discount.
way.
I also got to meet Rich Oberdorfer there. He's a big moped guy there in PDX. I've seen him on Instagram. We got to met him later at Vespa Portland on Saturday, which was like a week away, I'm sure. It seemed like it. But here's the cool thing. Rich is an attorney, and we kept his card for future issues.
Potentially.
Thanks, Rich.
Yeah, thanks, Rich. From there, we headed over the beautiful St. John's Bridge to the Skyline Tavern on our way to Seaside via the Wigwam.
What a great stop. Up had the little cutoff road.
Both
Up
the
a little
Skyline
zigzag.
and the Wigwam are great.
Germantown Road.
Yeah, old Germantown Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bridge is absolutely gorgeous.
Just outside of Portland, really.
Skyline people are nice people with a view. We're not sure of what, but it looked really pretty. And then we got to the Wigwam in Scappoose with bartender Pam. Remember her?
Pam.
And then we had a big ride. In fact, we had to stop halfway through it for a shot of Jaeger.
You can never have too much Jaeger, according to
Molly.
Molly.
Yeah, but we ended up in Birkenfield at the Burke Saloon.
Great stop.
It was time for a little snack after riding for nearly an hour. The help there was fun and attentive, though I am curious, is there a chance she was a Wiccan witch?
Look at the eyes.
She
The
had
eyes
these
will tell you.
crazy green eyes, and then she looked at me like she could see into my soul. Anyway,
Well,
she
that's
took our
not hard to
sticker
do.
and they posted it there. We met the owner. Very nice, very cool people.
But there's more to this story.
Yeah, there is.
There's an
Because we
airfield.
bought 3 burgers and split them 6 ways.
That's right, good burgers. But then there was Doug
Bellingham.
Bellingham.
Okay. You're not going to do it, are you? He used to be a carny and he guessed my weight, right?
What weight did he guess? No,
he was wrong. He was wrong by
no,
10 pounds.
I think 6. He pegged you at a 205.
So Doug had his suspenders.
Now
and
keep
his
in mind,
shorts on.
Mark is about 5'6".
No, that's not true. I'm 5'6" and a half.
That's right. You count every half inch, don't you?
Don't we all? So he's standing there in his shorts and his suspenders. And
Well, I accuse him of being Swiss because I saw him across the street at his place,
right.
and he was a little hunched over with the suspenders, short shorts, a complete Swiss look.
He must.
From the Alps.
At one time, I know he had some Swiss in it.
Cheese
A
and
little
cider.
Swiss. So he informs us that
Wait, are you talking about me, Lizard?
he lived in the Burke Tavern as a child, right?
Yeah, he grew up there.
He grew up there.
Converted house.
And
into a
it,
tavern,
now a big bar, really popular motorcycle bar, I think, for the
Yes,
the
a lot of
guys with
rides.
those twin V's.
Yeah.
They come in there, and
You know those Harley bitches.
right. So he looks at us and he goes, "Oh, what are you, 205?" No, I'm not 205.
Hey,
I'm
he hearkened-
193.
He tried to peg your old wrestling weight.
Right. Oh, because we were
205.
talking about when I was a D1 wrestler.
Yeah, how's that program doing right now?
Pretty good. I
thought they
sometimes I
ended
get
that.
the scrapbook out. I take a look at it.
I thought you buried that program in the 70s.
They buried it.
Like a pair of purple underwear, I heard.
So we were.
We'll
we
get
were
back
all,
to that.
We were all fine with our fuel, except for you, Lonnie. You were really low.
Well, first of all, I'm the Lizard, and second of all, it's because we had planned on stopping for fuel in Scappoose.
That was in the notes. That was in
And
the itinerary.
we effed that one up, and we forgot to stop for fuel.
Yeah.
And so I had to beg a little fuel off of our friend Doug, who had
Non-ethanol
Non-ethanol.
fuel.
non-ethanol fuel. And I swear, after that fill-up, thank you, Doug, my scooter never ran so good.
You took off like a bat out of hell.
So not
like
only
you've
that,
done something wrong.
do you remember how impressed Bobby Chong was that he has a grass airplane strip on his property? He has 60 acres up there and a grass strip.
Bellingham
His
Airstrip.
dad had a Mooney that he used to run back and forth. So the Burke was very cool. I did a video on Instagram at Chasing Ghosts on Scooters and Bars. if you look at it, it's all fields. I do a whole surround, and then there's a bar. There's nothing else there.
It's out of nowhere, yeah.
It's just
all like an old
nothing there.
post
And I got to
office
say,
front.
in all the writing we've done, Doug Bellingham was one of the top 5 or so guys we've
Characters.
ever met.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Yeah, he was born
Well,
and
he called
lived,
him like he saw him.
but he also lived
that's
in
you.
Bellingham, and his last name was Bellingham. He was a microbiologist, right, or a
Marine
biologist, and
He
For
saved
the state
whales.
of Washington.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, Doug, and thank you, the Burke. So from the Burke, we headed to the Elderberry Lounge.
Just a stop on the way. We
My-
needed somewhere to pull.
It
over
might
for
have
a
been
while.
called the Benign Berry because there was nothing happening there.
Lizard. Great call.
Thanks, Coach.
So, or as I went to Star Wars on that one, nothing to see here. This droid may pass. But we did get fuel, if you
Yes.
remember, right next door. And Bobby was worried to buy too much because they could have had some sediment
Such a worry.
in their tank. But we got enough to get us to Seaside, Oregon, to check into our hotel. And Lonnie, you drove right to it.
I did.
It was the wrong hotel. And they said, people do that all the time.
Well, what was it called? The Riverside, the Riverside.
Riverside
Come
Inn.
on,
Yeah, it was
a-
tough.
That was a understandable mistake.
Yeah, but we got to our suite. We had a suite for 6 of us. And I felt like we were at boys camp.
How else do you stay number one?
That's right.
That wasn't even a sanctioned stop. That would be number 40 if we counted that one.
That's right.
I
And
think
from
we did. Oh, no.
so we got out.
No, we didn't count the.
we warmed up because it was a little cool.
Yes,
sat in
we
the hot
warmed
tub.
up.
We headed to the Seaside Tap Room. We had a drink there, if you remember.
Yep.
And then we had reservations at Noni's on the Strip at Seaside for a really good Italian meal.
It was nice.
Mark, you had a sandwich, and she tried to talk you out of it.
Yeah, she really did, and I didn't. I knew what I wanted.
You fought back. It
I-
was as close to a burger as you could get.
Yeah, I resisted, and I'm glad.
I had a
did.
little bouillabaisse. I had a little cioppino. It was very, very good.
If I'm not mistaken, I had lasagna, but the owner there, I don't remember her name, but she was quite refreshing
She
for
was
a
spunky, yeah.
senior citizen.
She pretended she had one of us at home or something.
Well, I
Babysitting
said,
us.
"How do you feel about older men?" And she goes, "I have one at home."
And then it was about babysitting us.
That's right. And from there, we went to Dundee's, which is a very popular bar right there on the main drag in Seaside, for our final stop to make it, I think, 11 or 12 for the day.
It was a big day.
Yeah, so we were keeping pace.
We were on
And
schedule at that
we
point.
had 2 more days to go. It was not a completely warm day for us, but it was a very productive day,
Nice rides, productive, some good stops.
right? And then we
And day
we
3 holds, or no,
hold
day
some
2.
real
That
promise.
was day 1.
That was day
That was,
2.
that was day one, and
That
that,
was
was a
day
big
one.
day.
Yeah, because
Is
we've
that
got to
really?
come back
That
to
was
Portland.
one
yeah.
day.
See, that's how it gets away from you.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
let's regroup and head out to day 2.
Hi, this is Jody at the Ranch Tavern in Milwaukee, Oregon. You're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
The next morning, the beach weather was pretty brisk, but clear and sunny as the morning broke on the second day of our Pubscoot RipCity adventure.
And not a few miles later at Cannon Beach, we had a little pullover at the beach to have an impromptu cocktail.
You surprised us with some orange juice, and we grabbed our little airline bottles out of our scooters that you gave us as gifts.
A little
and
cranberry?
We did a little photo shoot.
Yeah, right on the beach. It was nice.
We were on our way to the bunkhouse in Manzanita, if I
breakfast.
remember right.
Yep.
And there we met Hunter Gabriel. Marshall. Yeah, whatever his name
He
was.
was a nice young man.
He was.
He promised
And
the world.
We all ordered beer or wine, and he goes, "Yeah, but I make a good Bloody Mary." And we go, "Well, your
Bar-
sign says you only have beer or wine." So he
We
made
changed
us,
that order quickly.
He made us some drinks until he ran out of vodka.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the first bar we've run out of vodka.
We ran a train out of vodka one time. It was then we headed off to Highway 53 and the twisties through the hills.
Great run.
How did you find that road?
Research, motherfucker. Research.
We spent some time down there. 3
Okay,
days.
if you haven't ridden that, if you're listening to this and a scooter rider, ride that road. Highway 53 from
Manzanita to Highway 26.
to Highway 26.
That was actually through Nehalem, right? We took a left in Nehalem, and we
Yes.
headed east on
To the
53.
cutoff.
yeah,
the
very
twisties.
fun. And we ended up at the corner store, which is a kind of a dive grocery store?
Yeah, it was a dive store, corner store / bar. What do you want it to be? What do you want it to be?
It was not haunted, but it had coolers with drinks in it. So we grabbed cans of beer, cans of wine, cans of
just whatever. Like you would at your any
No, they had a can
store.
of jerky too. It was really good. We went out on their patio, and they were like provided us cups, and we drank right out there. We met some dude sitting in the shadows. Yep. Remember him?
Yes.
And he was sort of like he was a little bit like Sam Elliott. Well, those chickens over there,
minus the mustache.
Yeah, right.
They had chickens and cocks roaming around outside in the parking lot. You were particularly piqued about the cocks.
Yeah. So from there we went to Camp 18. That was a big log tourist area, right?
It was touristy, but it was kind of a cool little lodge.
Beautiful lodge.
The bar was closed though.
Yeah, a little sad, but we sat on the main floor and saw a beautiful woman and her 2 kids.
Baby.
With her
little baby.
With her baby. She was nice. So we watched her for about 15 minutes, had a drink, got back on our scooters, and then headed down
the road on to 26 East.
And it was a big 4-laner. We were going fast.
It was. We didn't get to the heart of the city yet, but we were going 50.
We had some ground to cover, and we did it.
We ended up at the Dairy.
We call that eastbound and down.
Right. So we ended up at the Dairy Creek Tavern, which was on 26 on our way back into PDX.
Inconspicuous looking stop, but it turned out to be a nice stop.
Oh, very nice. We met Trish, who informed us that the place was super haunted, and then she shared her stories. So if you're freaked out about faces in windows way high above the ground, skip this part. But here are Trish's stories about the Dairy Creek Tavern.
Let's hear it.
And here we go. I'm with Trish at the Dairy Creek Tavern. How long has this bar been here?
Oh, that's a good question. It used to be called the Sunset Inn. Early hundreds, I would imagine.
Yeah, very old.
Yeah,
and you've heard, we both heard, it's haunted.
Perhaps.
So tell us what people have experienced.
Whistling, TVs going off and on, actually an imprint of a face, and I don't know how high up that is, that window there, but that's a couple stories high, so nobody could just stand underneath it on a rock or anything.
Like a greasy imprint of a face.
Yeah, hands and a face against the window.
And not only that, but you live in a haunted house.
I do.
You did a very good job taking care of us
Thank you.
today.
You're very nice.
We're at the Dairy Creek Tavern, which is on Highway 26. It's
Manning.
Manning, Oregon.
Manning, Oregon, yes.
Right. Haunted bar, great bar, and good food.
Yeah, it's a fun bar. Right. It's a neighborhood bar. Everybody's welcome.
I'm still a non-believer, but a story like that with the face, that gets me closer.
Does it really?
Well, not really, but I'm trying to get
Okay, where'd we go from there?
We headed off to the Helvetia, which was a wonderful little McMiniman stop.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a McMiniman.
No, it's not. It was just a local stop.
Oh, the Helvetia? No, you're right.
Helvetia is in.
But we passed that.
Helvetia. So it was, you're thinking of the Rock Creek.
Rock Creek we passed the day before.
It was time for lunch. We headed to this haunted bar with a very talented staff and a great ghost story.
What do you mean by talented?
Well, I think
they were sisters.
They had sisters working there who were really
nice
smart.
And friendly.
Smart and pretty. They had a great ghost story from their head cook. And he's been there over 21 years. It's a very old place. They've added on this beautiful back deck with multi-level seating, good solid bar food, and it seems they have a keen eye for hiring.
I'll agree with that.
Before we move on, let's hear from James and his haunting story that I'll call Cheeseburger and a Flannel Shirt. So I'm with James at the Helvetia Tavern in Hillsboro, Oregon. And what a cool spot. You made our lunch.
Yeah.
It was great.
Thank you.
But it's also an old tavern, isn't it?
Yeah, very old. 1947 it was established.
Right. And this tavern looks like it's been added onto with this patio and everything. How long have you worked here?
21 years.
Man. That's the age of her hot girl down there.
Yeah, the family side took off like gangbusters.
Yeah.
So they had to, it used to be lawn and mud.
Yeah. So you are the head chef?
Basically.
Yeah. And you guys have a little ghost hanging around, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I can't say his name because of relatives in the area, but he was sitting at the sink. He was overweight, had a plaid shirt on, a beard, and he was eating a jumbo cheeseburger. And all of a sudden, he fell off the bar stool and died on the spot. But
Here in the bar.
Here in the bar. Yep. He still hangs around the back room. You can see shadows of him and movement of him still. Back room and the basement.
So you say that you described him before you knew who he was.
Yeah. Nobody even told me the story.
So what did you describe before you found out who he was?
I knew from seeing the movement in him in the back room that it was a middle-aged man, overweight, with a beard.
That could be me.
It could. It could be a lot of us.
Right, I'm older.
But anyway, I said he sat right there because this is where I get the vibe, the feeling, and he just fell off the bar stool, deader than a doornail.
Wow.
Yeah.
And not only do you guys have a ghost, and not only is it fit right into the classic pub atmosphere, but it's haunted. We've hit the trifecta here, gentlemen. Give us a hand.
Good job, Mark.
Anyway,
Okey
thank you
dokey.
very much, James.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out. I know you're busy.
Okay. Thank
right,
you.
man.
So then, Mark, now here we are. We go
Did
to
James sound to you at all like a jockey?
You know what? He actually looked like he could have been a jockey. Maybe that's what he did. He rode horses, and now he's a really good cook.
He is damn good. That was good food.
You know what? I love the pony burgers.
You know, you can't taste the difference.
Lean. It's lean.
We also met Nigel there. I think he did a little intro for us
Yeah.
while we were there, and there were some great motorcycles that were off to the side there. But from there, Mark, then we went on to what you
That's
were
the
talking
way-
about,
yes,
the
I
Rock
apologize.
Creek Tavern. That was a McMiniman's property, and of course, super well done, and a classic old barn-like structure in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, plants and shrubbery all around. And you guys, we drove by it the day before, and you guys honked, and like after we stopped later on, you go, "Why didn't we stop there? Why didn't we stop there?"
Right. But
All
we
in
were
good
going
time.
back to, we did a big loop,
Yeah.
and then we ended up there. And in the parking lot, we met Karina.
No, you met Karina.
Right, I met Karina.
And who was Karina?
She was the Banshee. Do you remember we park in our
was
scooters?
wild. She was
in
running.
comes her car. She comes sliding into the parking lot.
Dust everywhere.
Skids to a stop. Shuts the door. Sprints inside to the bar through
Like a
two
70s half T-shirt.
right, and green hair. So I did take a picture with her. She follows us, so we can't go on with that. But she held our sticker up. We did a photo. She was running in to try to get her paycheck, but they weren't there yet. Very fun. The Banshee, Karina, at the Rock Creek Tavern of McMiniman's.
You got a picture of that, right?
I do.
Did you post it yet?
It's been posted, and
No
she
wonder
liked
we're
it.
the number one podcast.
So from there, we headed into downtown Portland, and we ended up at the Lowbrow.
We've been there before.
That's where I had and made the bad decision to have a martini.
Why? Why would you do that?
Why would I do it late in the afternoon? Because I was in a dark lounge downtown Portland, and I thought that would be the thing to do. Have a martini.
You know, bad decisions are kind of your hallmark.
And from there, I did drink it in one swallow.
It's not the first time you've said that.
From there, we headed
Chubby checkers.
Yes, we headed to the haunted Heathman Hotel, where
That was a landing point.
where manager Darren took very good care of us. It's a beautiful hotel that our friend Ike set us up for. And
When's Ike joining us?
He joins us the next day.
Okay.
But he just managed the remodel of all the rooms and the guest rooms in the hotel.
Yeah, he set us up well. That was a nice hotel.
So after getting settled, we jumped on our scoots and headed to the White Eagle, another McMiniman's, right?
Yep.
Known to be haunted. In fact, probably the most famous haunted tavern in Portland. And we hung out there for a bit.
Cool old building.
I love the architecture. I just thought it was cool as hell. Interior styling was great. Very mid-60s. A little bit of Peter Max going
Old
on in
brick.
there. And remember Macy, the bartender? He said
Macy, a male.
he
named
was a
Macy.
man, yeah. He said it was a local bar back in the day for the working class Polish dock workers. And they used to come up there and then of course, it's now a high-end, very expensive place to get a fresh squeezed drink. But
it is fresh squeeze.
It is. Like most of their places, it's really well done. Original furnishings and decor, and I would go there anytime if I lived in that town.
You'll go back.
You know what, though? McMinimans does a nice job with their bars, but I'm a little bit leery of the corporate. We hit 2 or 3 of them on this trip, and I think we hit 3 or 4. Planned it, but...
Lizard, are you saying it's never going to happen again?
There's something about that just...
I want to treat each one as an independent entity.
If I didn't know they were McMinimans, I would feel better.
Yeah, but there is a theme.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah. Well, whether it's good or bad, there's a theme. You just notice it.
No,
they take the original furnishings, they clean it up, but they don't redo it.
And they put those big-ass old-school urinals in the men's room.
Right, because I got to pee real bad right now.
Hold tight. Let's keep going.
All right. Oh,
wait for.
This is Nigel. We're in the Helvetia Tavern in Helvetia, Oregon. You're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
So, isn't day 2 coming to an end here soon? Or
it's coming to an end. But we did go back to the hotel after the White Eagle. We cleaned up. We went down to the bar that was in the main floor of the
Heathman. Lobby.
Right.
In the lobby. We had a drink. Yeah, right. That's another stop. Don't know what it was called. Started talking with Andrew from Vespa Portland, who suggested that we go have a little bit of food at Santeria.
Great
which was
stop.
Only about 5 or 6 blocks from us.
And only about 6 tables or 6 chairs.
Yeah, very, very small. Not room for us, but it does share a bathroom with Mary's Club, which was a historic gentleman's club there in Portland. Just saying. That's all I'll say about that.
But they will deliver across the street.
To Bailey's Tap Room or Bailey's Brew Pub, whatever it's called. It was just across the way. We had a great visit with Andrew. He rode his 300 down there, or a 300 from his store.
The White Knight.
Yeah, right. And we had a great visit with him, and that's where we were talking about planning day 3
where
of our
we would
journey.
meet him at his store.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Day 3 did get a little hazy, if I remember right, which maybe I don't.
We'll find out after we come back.
This is Trish at Dairy Creek Tavern in Manning, Oregon, and you are listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
Well, as I mentioned, day 3 gets a little hazier, though we were all well behaved. We were back at the Heathman and up in the morning all at the same time, somewhere around 7 a.m., maybe 9.
Yeah, for an all Portland day.
We were going to head to the Ranch Tavern. Lonnie, can you tell us a little bit about your research on that?
The Ranch was up towards Milwaukee.
Down in Milwaukee, yes.
Down in Milwaukee, down south in Milwaukee. And that was a good breakfast stop. When Coach and I were doing our research, we met a guy there that did 4 shots in the morning, and then he slept it off, and then he did 4 shots in the afternoon. And I thought, maybe that guy could ride with us.
His daughter was driving him that day.
But the Ranch was a good way for us to get to another corner of Portland.
7 a.m.
Yep. Opened early, had good drinks, met the owner, and had a great breakfast.
Yeah, Jody took good care of us there, and we got a surprise visitor.
We did.
Yeah, Rob Hatley joined us.
Now, how do we know that name?
Now, Rob Hatley went to Fife High School. His dad was a coach at Fife. And also the athletic director, Mark. How do you feel about that?
Federal Way High School, the AD.
Then he went to Federal Way and was the AD, built the big stadium up there. And Rob lives in Portland, heard us on social media, and then surprised us at the ranch.
Yep.
Knew we were there.
Yep. Rob was your high school and college friend. No, not college friend, because he went to Wazoo.
Well, yeah, we were enemies.
But he was my roommate at one time, and I ended up buying his parents' home years later.
Yeah, and he was also my roommate when he graduated. I was still doing year 5 and 6.
Before
in college. 7. He graduated. He came over and lived in Seattle while I was still trying to get out of school.
Great guy.
Well, weren't you busy shutting down a wrestling program?
Yeah, I shut down a D1 wrestling program.
At 205. You were a hell of a wrestler.
I was 113.
They called you the Stump,
113.
5, 6.5.
I wrestled wherever they told me to, and some of them were at 205. Most of them were at 149.
No, we're talking about the wrestlers, not the cheerleaders.
Right. So from there, we headed to the lair, which turns out Rob said the owner of the lair was one of his next door neighbors.
Yeah,
that's right.
We get there, very nice, well-run bar, no doubt about it. And they had the British Open on their TVs.
What a treat, the British Open.
A treat for you guys. So we get in there. We're all having a great time. The British Open is on every TV in the lair, and everybody shuts up because you're staring with your arms down like zombies at the television.
No, that was awesome. Who won the British Open?
I don't even know who was in it.
Molinari,
there
won
were
it.
golfers in it.
Right. So we did leave a sticker too. One of their bartenders came in
for a paycheck.
And she was a cute little thing.
Had some spunk. She
spunk. Did. And so then we got joined by Ike.
That's right. Ike met us.
You mean us there at the Sandy Hut?
No, he met us at our third stop, the Sandy Hut. Potential highlight of our weekend.
One of the warmest feelings I just had come through my body from the Sandy Hut.
The Sandy Hut.
Where are your hands?
They're up above. Okay. They're here on the table.
The crown jewel of Portland dive bars. This was amazing.
So, okay, what would we call that neighborhood?
Well, that was
east. It was east of the river.
Portland.
Yeah.
On Sandy Boulevard.
Okay, so we drive up to this mid-century glass block. Beautiful bar. Well, beautiful in my opinion. Some people wouldn't, but the nose cone, it's a triangle bar. The nose cone is glass block.
A bit inconspicuous.
Big, tall Sandy Hut sign.
Restaurant neon.
Right. Very cool. And then we realize we pull on the door and it's locked. So we think, okay.
Son of a bitch!
They're not open.
Well, you guys badmouthed the Lizard and I's planning and scheduling.
Immediately we got badmouthed, didn't we?
Yeah, well... Because he took us to a very cool bar that was closed.
You know why that is? Because last year was a shit show, and we had closed bar after closed bar.
No, that was Keith.
Bar.
That was down California.
That was just on Sunday.
That was last
so there
year.
we go. We're standing outside. We're just going to wait till they open, maybe another 20 minutes.
Or 2 hours.
And then a door opens.
Side door.
A side door opens.
The kitchen.
We were standing by the meth addict, who I gave money to.
You wanted to help.
I gave her money because she asked.
Hungry.
She was asking God for some help. And that's okay. That was tough. Anyway, out the door opens and this nice, friendly, pretty young lady says, "Why are you guys standing out here?" We go, "We're waiting for you to open." She goes, "We've been open for 2 hours." I go,
it was 40 minutes. Don't exaggerate.
We pulled on the door.
Public.
She goes, "You got to pull a little harder." We're wide open. So in we went to one of the most beautiful mid-century classic bars I've ever been to.
It was, well... The Lizard and I, when we did our scouting trip, knew it was a winner right when we walked in.
Yeah,
it's got everything you want in a bar.
Yeah, it's got
touch, feel, class.
It's got 50s funnel lights. It's got shaped ceiling. It's got glass block. It's
panache.
Low. Yeah, everything.
Great
it's got long curtains going over the big full length windows like your living room did in the 1950s. It's great. And I've also noticed that the Vespa people in Portland go there a lot because they post that they hang out
we
there.
could have stayed there all day.
Yeah, it was great.
We should have.
Well, we'll go back.
So we met Jordy, the bartender, who took good care of us. Mm-hmm. She set us up for that great photo that we did, our first group photo when Ike joined us.
That's right. This is where Ike joins us.
Right. And we got our first group photo with everybody in the ride there. And then at that point, Katie came in to go to work. You guys worked with Katie.
We met Katie on our scouting trip, yes.
And you liked her.
Yeah. Nice lady.
So I did that picture, and I posted that on Instagram. She is the one with a lot of tattoos, a nose ring, and a great smile.
And it took you a little bit to warm up here because you were a little intimidated.
Well, she's 6 feet tall.
That's a lot of woman.
She's like a roller derby queen. I liked her a lot.
Well, at 5'6", you'll always look up to her.
I'm not 5'6". I'm 5'8.25". And my height. So anyway, we love the Sandy Hut, and we want to thank those guys for taking really good care of us. It was
a highlight.
I would have stayed there.
Absolute highlight of the trip.
And then a very funny thing happened. We were heading to the Lay Low, which is 1.5 miles away. Is that about right?
Or less.
But
right around the corner.
But we got it confused with the
The low brow.
The low brow and the lay
lizard.
low.
Yeah,
the lizard,
so the lizard
plugged something into his GPS on his scooter.
So we went across the
took
bridge.
Took us over the bridge, back to the lay low. When he pulled up to it, he knew, we may have a problem.
Then we went 3 trips around the block and zoomed
we
to
didn't
the
go
other
around.
side.
Yeah, 3 trips around the block. Onto the freeway. 3 different exits. But we ended up with Jenny at the...
that was all part of the plan for the
lay-
lizard to provide a little humor so the boys could have something to poke some fun at.
And we needed a little time between bars at that point.
So we ended up at the Lay Low where we met Jenny. Great neighborhood bar.
She was cute.
And we met...
A friend of Kate's.
She was a friend of Kate. In fact, I took a picture with Jenny, sent it to Kate because I took a picture with Kate, made sure she knew that because she told us to make sure to say hi to her.
But now Jenny had a story, right? That the Lay Low had some info.
Yeah, no. The Lay Low is haunted, and both her and the main chef.
Okay, can we stop listening to us and hear a story then?
The head chef, they call him.
So it was Jenny and Andrew, and they told 2 stories. So let's hear those stories now. I'm with Jenny, and we're at the Lay Low
Tavern
in east Portland, correct?
Southeast.
And you tell me it might be haunted, or it is haunted. What's going on?
I don't know. I've had a couple experiences coming in early in the morning by myself. I usually come in early in the morning, do the paperwork here by myself, and I have had the jukebox turn on by itself, which is shut down at night. And we have one power source, which is in the corner of the bar with a remote, but it will randomly turn on and music comes on.
Same song?
It was a weird thing because it was actually one of my grandmother's favorite songs.
She's just telling you she loves you.
Yeah, it's strange.
She live in Iowa?
She lived in Iowa, and she actually lived in Oregon for part of her life too. So I don't know. When she passed away, it was in Waterloo, Iowa. But yeah.
So that's happened.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Random things have moved. Like I've had glassware. Nobody's touching it. Just fall off the bar.
Okay.
You guys should definitely go to Double Barrel Tavern on Division because I've had a lot more experiences there. Like actual flying off the shelf glassware.
Tell us about it while we have you.
Well, I've heard of a couple people, one of which was a gentleman that came back from the war, and he was in a wheelchair, went into Double Barrel before we owned it, and shot himself in the head. So there's a lot of negative energy at Double Barrel. Dark energy, for sure. There's a weird thing in the ladies' room. There's like a crawl space above in the women's bathroom that goes through that hallway. So weird noises in the ladies' room, and flying glassware, things like that. So
we'll have to head down there.
You should. Yeah.
So we're going, like I said, to the Lutz from
The
here.
Lutz, yeah.
And
go to the Lutz, have fun. Hopefully Zoe's working.
All right, thanks, Jenny.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, guys.
So I'm with Andrew at the Lay Low, and you're the head chef. You're the head cook here.
Yeah.
And you've had things happen along with Jenny.
Yeah.
And why don't you tell us a little bit? I love the candle stories.
Well, yeah. One day it was during the daytime. It was around noon. The opening bartender Shelly was putting out the candles, and she came back to the bar after she had put the candles out to grab a lighter. She went back into the dining room, and all the candles had been rearranged, and actually one of them was lit without any of us lighting them.
And nobody else was here?
Nobody else was here.
No customers?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what about the wine glasses?
So this time it was me and Jenny. I was cooking on the line, and Jenny was bartending. She was, I think, all the way down here at the end of the bar. And all of a sudden, a wine glass just flew off the bar and smashed on the ground. And we both looked at each other, and we were just like, what was that? That just happened.
Do you know any history? How long has the bar been here?
Do you know how long it was here when it was Coasters?
I want to say it was Thirsty Eye before it was Coasters. So Thirsty Eye was the original bar. Then it was Coasters, and now it's Lay Low. And I want to say it's been a bar for about 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, the building's about 90 or 100.
Yeah. So there's definitely some history. And this is attached to an apartment above us, too. So like it's one big building too. So who knows what is happening?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, no problem. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Okay, those are two good ghost stories, and Jenny was one of our favorites. But those guys are making me a believer.
Really? I thought you already were.
No, I'm not as skeptical as the coach here, but I'm still on the fence.
If you remember, I ordered a whole bunch of food at that place, and you weren't planning on anybody eating there. But we were hungry, and there was like 15 different things on the table. And fried pickles and everything else.
Well, that's when the Lizard and Greg were out having a cigar.
I posted that picture. I posted that picture. It was the Lizard and Greg.
Maybe this is why we're number one. Sex sells.
Yeah, that's right. But where were we heading?
We were headed from there to the Lutz.
To the Lutz, which we thought was Holman's.
Yeah, we were a little confused. Too many bars.
Okay, but a very cool spot.
But this was your rendezvous bar.
Well, it was...
It was going to be your masses.
Yes, it was.
Okay, now remember, we're 200 miles away from our hometown.
But we're the number one podcast in the frickin' world.
For Scooters, Ghosts, and Bars, category. Right? But we did have some people show up, and it was really nice. We had...
What's your official count?
It was like 1,000. I don't know. It was really expensive.
There were a lot of bikes out there on your picture.
There were a lot of bikes. We met the Schilling family.
But as your dear wife Beth said, aren't most of those yours?
So happy birthday, Holly, and thanks for coming out.
Yeah, thank you. You know what? Can I just interject right here? Thank you guys very much for coming out, because if you hadn't come out, it would have been...
No.
Only one.
Stop it. They weren't the only ones.
You would have ruined Mark's entire weekend.
Not only that, but
it would have been probably the last podcast.
If you remember, Ryan also came on his beautiful...
And who's Ryan?
Classic.
Isn't that family? Practically family of yours?
Ryan Burke. Well, he's Davis's girlfriend's brother, but he is also a listener, and his wife's a listener, and he joined us. Not only did he come to the Lutz,
so who else
he joined us down at Holman's, and then he joined us at Scooters.
Okay. Ryan is a cool guy, but that made 4.
So then there were the 3 guys on their Vespas that you met with that were out on the picnic tables out front, and they go,
they were not with
we're
Vespas.
riding our Vespas, and they go, we had no idea this was going on, but we're huge fans. We're so glad we're here. So
this after you introduced yourself and said, "Are you listening to me right now?" And they said, "Yeah." Okay, we're going to count you as a listener.
Okay, hey Portland. Maybe you could do a better job next time, but you did a great job in Vespa Portland at our second meetup that happened later in the day.
Anyway, Holly and family, thank you guys, because otherwise we would have never heard the end of it.
From there, we went to Holman's, which you thought
was the Lutz.
Yeah, you thought, because you told me about the tilted floor.
Yeah, I like the Holman.
Yeah, me too. Holman's is a good stop, and we were a little confused, but you got to admit, after all that scouting, we couldn't dial it in 100%.
No, there's a lot of bars. That's 40 bars and
3
40
days of scouting, 2 months prior.
Yeah,
this stuff happens sometimes.
And from there, we headed through town, and we headed to Scooter McQuaid's.
That's a nice stop.
You had to go to Scooter McQuaid's.
Well, the name is perfect. It's connected to the Shanghai tunnels, and young and beautiful Veronica shared her experiences there. So I'm at Scooter McQuaid's, and I'm with Veronica, who's bartending today. And Scooters is haunted, and she knows a few things about it, though she hasn't been here as long as others. But tell us what you know.
Yeah, well, I could tell you about the experiences I've had so far. I was stalking the bar, and I was going downstairs where our liquor room is, and that's where all our cameras are set up. So, like, in the corner of my eye, I just saw, like, one of the cameras, like, flickering, and it's, like, the camera that's all the way in the back, downstairs in the basement. And I was, like, looking over, and I'm like, that is so weird that out of all the cameras, that one's the one that's flickering. So I looked over, and you can just see, like, this, like, shadow, like, just a person. Freaked me out because there's only one way out, one way in from downstairs, and I know that nobody followed me or anything, and like that back camera just was flickering like crazy. So I just made a run for it because I'm like, there's nothing here, and one of my coworkers had to go check just in case there wasn't any person, and the camera was fine, no more flickering. But yeah. Yeah, every time we all hear, when we're cleaning in the mornings, we'll hear like the bathrooms like just like that, like shut, the doors, the stools. So sometimes, I think my coworker said that they'll fall sometimes when he's here. I've heard like just dragging the stools around. My boss will say that in front of the office we have a little chair. She says that sometimes it's been on the other side, or just like, it's crazy stuff. I mean, we're connected to this Shanghai tunnels too, so that's pretty freaky. But our door.
Is there a blocked entrance here?
No, it's all shut down. It's like sealed. I wish, because I want to check it out.
Yeah. Well, you can do tours down there, right? I mean, they sell tours.
Yeah, there's a.
Not connected to here.
Yeah, not connected to us. Ours is like bolted shut, and which I guess is good, because I've heard that there's previous years there was murders and stuff when they were open.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, do you know the history of this bar?
Not as well as my coworkers, but
A little bit, maybe. How old is it?
this bar, how old? Well, my boss has owned it for 21 years. I just turned 21.
Right.
Yeah, and as far as that, I think it's been a bar longer than that when she got it. There's a couple photos that we have scattered around that you can tell.
I would say it's a 100 to 120-year-old building at least.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I think it was a little bit wider. They built this wall that we were connected over there, and I think it was like a hospital.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a few.
So that would have a lot of history.
Yeah, like a clinic or something. Some of the photos, that's how I know of it. It's just when I'm like looking around, I'm like, oh, that's so weird. It looks so different. But you can tell by the posts that we have around here.
We'll take a look around.
Yeah.
Veronica, thank you so much
Yeah,
for sharing your stories.
absolutely.
And look for us online at Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
Yeah, thank you.
So we ended up at Vespa Portland with Andrew and the whole crew there. Yeah. And what a really nice, hospitable group of guys.
Gave us the tour.
First class. And also Rich Oberdorfer came down. He was at Sabatino's. We talked about that earlier. He joined us with his wife. We met Dawn, who was picking up her new Vespa Primavera, which was the very first one sold in Oregon. It was kind of a periwinkle color, if you remember.
What is periwinkle?
Well, it was like
for us in our 40s.
It's kind of a blue-green combo.
Bluish hue?
Yeah. So way to go, Don. Nice
she
job.
She did look a little periwinkle.
Yeah. So we really liked the job. Really liked their shop. Andrew mentioned it was a really old building, maybe haunted.
And so you had to investigate upstairs.
Well,
the
so
haunted
like
area.
I was kind of a goof. I grabbed my EMF meter out of my scooter.
You were excited.
I thought he was being truthful,
genuine.
He took us through the whole place. We go upstairs. I mean, it's 90 degrees if you remember. We go upstairs.
Oh, it was as the lizard's father used to say, it was hotter than two mice fucking in a wool sock.
Right.
That would be Captain Jack.
Yeah. So we get upstairs. We're in the storeroom with all these stacked up boxes, right? The stacked up boxes
and you're
everywhere.
taking your meter everywhere.
Got my meter. I go, ooh, I'm getting some action. Behind, and then Andrew says something about helmets.
And I'm recording this as
you have
I want
the
it
video.
on film. Yeah.
You knew in advance?
Yeah, we set this up.
And out jumps Derek, who is a young man that works for him. Jumps out like he's a ghost. Jumps over the boxes. Tries to scare me, but of course, because
and there goes
I'm a ghost
another
hunter.
pair.
Because you already shot yourself.
So I wasn't wearing any at that point.
That's right. He'd already released.
Did this video make it to Instagram?
No, it didn't because he doesn't know how.
I don't do it. I don't. I'm a non-believer and not a tech guy. But
so
I
thanks,
do have
Vespa Portland, for a really great trip.
And poor Derek, that bastard.
Congratulations.
Those guys are wonderful.
Yeah, they had a nice group there for us, and it was really a
and they sell some good
meetup.
scooters too. If you're
they do.
in the market,
if you want to buy one, go there.
This is Jenny at Lalo Tavern, Portland, Oregon, with Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
You know, Mark, you have omitted one stop after Scooter McQuaid's. We went to Cassidy's real quick.
That was right next door, I think.
Just, 2 doors down or a door down. And then from there, we went to Ringler's Annex.
I think Ryan joined us there, too. We did tequila shot, right?
Yeah, Ryan continued with us since the Lutz.
Did he go to Vespa Portland?
No. Yes, he did. Yeah, he was at Vespa. He was at Holman's.
He was at Lutz?
He made about 4 or 5 stops with us.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And then we also picked up the new
Dawn?
Vespa purchased. Dawn
joined us, right?
Yeah, from Vespa Portland.
She joined us for the next stop after that.
She met us at Ringler's.
Yeah, by then we had like 500 people riding with us.
It was a
unbelievable.
Caravan. It was like a Kellogg's commercial.
I can't believe Rich Oberdorfer didn't join us at that point.
Well, he did type up a disclaimer before we left.
Had to sign it. Okay, so we left Vespa Portland, and then we headed down looking for Ringler's Annex.
Which actually, technically, to be geographically true, is close to Cassidy's and Scooters.
Right,
we had to run over to Vespa before they closed.
And then we came back down.
And then we went back to Ringler's.
And we parked in this really cool spot.
We thought.
So we go to
Cool
Ringler's.
things cost money.
We go to Ringler's. We've got a group of people with us, our group and a few others, including our friend Dawn with her periwinkle scooter.
Free parking starts at 7.
Right. And we have one drink at Ringler's,
Downstairs
right?
at Ringler's.
Cool bar.
Maybe 2.
Very
It's
cool.
underground.
We come back up. Dawn says she's got to head back over the bridge, head back to her neighborhood. She
And then
doesn't
we
have
were
a
gonna head
ticket,
to the
and we
hotel
have
for the
over $500 worth of parking tickets.
All in 2 parking spots.
We're in 2 spots, and
we
I
paid.
think that is not right.
That's Portland bullshit.
Because if you had one car there, they would have gotten one ticket. Why is it that 5 scooters can park in a spot and they all get tickets?
So what we're saying is if every listener could just send in $1,
we can double our profits.
We have a little. We won't be able to do another
$11
podcast.
plus $489 of our own money and cover this thing.
That's right.
Please help.
So yeah, she went online and paid some sort of thing online. It's crazy.
she was a local.
She bought the ticket or the
Yeah.
parking sticker. She was fined. The rest of us who thought we were safe.
And if anybody from the Portland or Portland Parking Patrol is listening, fuck you.
Fuck you is right.
We wrote nasty notes and we're hoping for some consideration. It was expensive. Those were incredibly
All
expensive
part of the journey.
for 20 minutes of mismatched
But
parking.
it is all part of the journey.
So there you go.
Hey, this is Eric Sabatino from Sabatino Vintage Moped and Scooter in Portland, Oregon. You're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
Okay, so we left Vespa Portland. We freshened up at the hotel, and
Quick cocktail.
Yeah, we did. We had a drink at the in the lounge at the cocktail lounge, and then we headed to the Yard House
for dinner.
Right, that was Mike's idea.
Right.
And he said it had great pizza. And what'd you say?
It was great pizza.
It was good pizza.
Yeah,
But
all right.
what did you think of the place?
Well, it was too new, too slick, too big,
nice.
too nice.
And you got too pissy.
I was a little pissy about it.
Way pissy.
And,
Audience, if you can imagine a 2-year-old in a high chair, arms crossed, throwing the mushed peas across the room, plastic spoon in hand.
All right.
That's
So
what
we
he was.
ate there. We got the hell out of there, and we headed to Kelly's Olympian.
Now, that was a great finish.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
That wasn't on our list. It was recommended that we go there, and we did. And it had hanging motorcycles.
All over.
VSAs.
Including BSAs, mini bikes.
Yeah.
All
cool.
60s and early 70s bikes, tons of neon, lots of people, and they poured a great drink.
And great atmosphere. It was a nice finish.
So I had a couple of drinks there. I left you guys there. I stumbled back to the hotel.
You and Bobby Chong.
Me and Bobby Chong.
And Ike.
And did Ike leave?
Yeah.
We went back, went to bed.
Old
you
people.
guys decided to, we're the old people.
We were
You
gonna
guys
whoop it
decided
up.
to stay a little bit.
Yeah.
So Keith, you, Greg,
And
Yeah, me, Coach, Greg, and Keith.
right?
four of
And
us.
you guys stayed for a little while.
We finished
had
it
a couple
up
more
until it
drinks.
closed.
Yep.
You closed it up. You went to a trailer
Taco
truck, right?
Food truck.
And how'd Keith do?
Well,
He-
if only we had the
he-
footage still.
He had a
Keith,
burrito.
Lizard, what happened to the footage?
Only we had the video because Keith kind of lost it there for a little while.
Food was everywhere.
And then
Well, the
next
thing
day,
is, when you eat over the garbage can, you know you have an issue.
And it wasn't even audible at that
I'll
point.
tell you what, I love that. I think that's great.
it was a really fun night, but then I made the mistake the next day of showing Keith the video, and
You-
that
yeah,
prick
you-
took my phone
You
and
relinquished the phone.
deleted the video.
Yeah,
and
he
he will
gone
never
forever,
live it down.
sadly.
It's in the cloud
However-
somewhere, and I'm going to find it when I become tech savvy.
So Bobby Chong and I are asleep in our room. We have separate beds, by the way, and I did not bite a pillow. In the middle of the night.
What were those hand marks on
2:30
your hips then?
That was you. 2:30 in the morning, the lights start flickering in our room. Not just flickering, we had
What
strobe
room were
lights.
you in?
We had strobe lights
You were in the
going on in our
handicap room.
We were in a handicap. We didn't know it. We were in a handicap room. The lights are flashing. There's pounding on the doors. We thought the building was on fire. We were gonna die.
Code red,
And
code
so
red.
I said, Chong, wake up. Our building's on fire. Go get the door. And of course he did. He's the older brother. He gets up. He walks to the door. He opens it up. And you guys blast in there in the middle of the night. And you know what you did? You bruised me. I still have bruises on my body.
Well.
You did the Swiss wrestling thing.
Because you were a bitch at dinner. And you had to pay a
Right.
price for
I
that.
just-
And do you think it was not planned that you and your older brother Bobby Chong were in a handicap room? We thought of everything.
And by the way,
That's
we
planning,
paid a
Lizard.
premium. It was like $250 a night.
Worth
Bob
it.
goes, you owe me $250 plus that $8 bottle of water that you bought. And I go, well, you drank some of it.
He's so tight.
I know, but I thought we were getting it for $100 a night.
No, nothing but the
Not
best for you.
Not for that room. So anyway, we got the great light. I got beat up, and I had to kick you out of there. But that was a big night.
That was
and
a big
then
night.
We met again at 8 in the morning.
This is Macy from the White Eagle Saloon in Portland, Oregon. You are listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
So here we are on day 4. Oh my!
Well, we know this is survival.
Day 3 was a little bit hazy. Day 4 is
survival day.
Yeah, survival day. Why don't you start us out, Mark?
Well, once we got connoitered down by the scooters on the streets, we were our route was toward the Columbia, Oregon side, heading east, and then we were going to cross the Bridge of the Gods, and then follow it the Washington side west to Vancouver to our landing spot, and we had a few stops from start to finish.
Well, or
starting
as they
with
say,
bandits.
the best laid plans of mice and men.
Oh, Steinbeck.
Right. What happened?
I didn't finish the book. 10th grade.
Nobody did.
Oh, that's right.
So, but we ended up at
Yeah, meanwhile.
breakfast in Sandy, Oregon, at Vinny's, right?
But what did we skip? We went to the
Salties. Then we went to Selton's or Sullen.
Salties was a brunch. We weren't into the brunch. And then we went,
$60 a person.
Sexton's
was next door. We didn't
It
open
wasn't
until
open.
11. We were too early for that, and so we skipped both those, a potential 40th stop.
Yeah.
And went on to
Sacrifice.
Went on to Vinny's
Vinny's in Sandy, Oregon, right?
Yeah. For
Oh, that's right. Vinny's. We had
breakfast.
We had breakfast,
And we ordered one beer between 7 of us.
yeah, we were. The
And we
epitome
all
of
took a
survival
sip
day.
to make it qualify,
Because-
and every hand was shaking, if I remember right.
And that was the
as
start.
we took it. And when we left, it was still half full.
we did get better, but yeah, that was a rough start.
And from there, we were headed to
Troutdale.
and ended up at Bandits. Very clean, nice place.
Yeah, that was the like a little town
Yeah,
off,
it was-
off of 26 or whatever it was called.
Whatever's
30.
heading toward
It was 30. and
84, I thought.
Yeah, Troutdale was
30
really
turns into 84.
Yeah, nice little town.
clean little bar.
Yeah, upscale, pretty
Right off the
new. The,
exit.
bar was
Friendly
new,
little
but
bartender.
nice.
Nice place.
You know,
Mission
and-
accomplished.
Oh,
we took turns.
We took turns.
It was
Nobody.
survival.
I
day.
didn't. So I had a mimosa there, if I remember right.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
And we
And
left.
that got you back on your wheels.
I was feeling better after that because there was some poison in me. And then from there we headed to the crazy place. We had Keith with us.
No, we headed to. Remember, we stopped at the Corbett County Market.
Oh right,
yeah, we
right.
took the
Stopped at
exit
the
to
Corbett.
go the old Highway 30.
Really old little country store.
We bought things to
Yeah,
go.
we left
Right.
Uncle Vinny's, and then we were off to the corner store. Another, well, it wasn't the corner store, but a store. Corbett's, right off of Old Highway 30.
On our way to the Vista House.
On the way to the Vista House, so we could have a beverage.
Right, and then
But
we had to
the-
take Keith out of there, right?
Yeah, well, the National Guard was everywhere.
Yeah, the Vista House was way
Heavily
too
guarded.
busy for us to crack open our own drinks and do our thing.
So we went back up the road to a little punch out.
Little hideaway.
And that's where Keith had another moment.
Right. So we took some photos there, and he put his phone up, and we got a sideways picture of all of us.
A self-promo of all of us.
From there, we headed out down a whole bunch of twisties, going all over the place, over the Bridge of the Gods.
No, remember we went west.
Oh, we went
back down
west.
The highway to turn around, and then so we could go east.
And the cop said we're going to die.
Left-hand exit to go to the
Multnomah
Falls. Yeah,
but the exit was closed.
Yeah,
and we stopped in the little breakaway of the exit.
A little run-in with the sheriff.
Yeah,
he was not happy.
He wasn't happy with us.
Yeah, and
he
was
said, "You're
not
gonna die.
Sheriff
You're gonna
Buford
die."
T. Justice, but he was pissed.
And somebody followed us and parked the car behind us.
Yeah,
which was part of the problem.
Well, they probably saved our life.
Yeah.
Well.
So from there, we got off the freeway. Greg's scooter battery died.
Kaput.
We got him charged up
And on the
fired
road
him
again.
up.
Then we went over the Bridge of the Gods.
There we go.
$1 toll for scooters.
$1 toll and a bridge that was totally a metal graded bridge deck.
By the way, you guys all owe me $1 for that.
No, we gave you money.
I put $7 down.
All right.
6 back.
You owe me $10 for the drink I just made you.
That was Coach Nevin who made this stiffy.
Coach Nevin in the studio audience.
Say hi.
Hello. There he is.
From there, we rode. It seemed like forever.
Yep.
It was
now
a long
westbound on Highway
26.
On the north side of the Columbia River, all the way into.
Let me check my notes.
Yeah, get the map out. But we ran at 55 miles an hour for at least an hour.
It wasn't an
We ended up in Washougal.
But it was Highway 14. And we were heading to Washougal.
And we ended up in Washougal hoping to go to the Bigfoot. Tavern, but it was closed.
Right. It wasn't. It was open, but we skipped that and went straight to Smead's, which we thought was closed because nobody's in the parking lot, but they were all parked out back. It was 90.
Well, Bobby told us it was closed.
Yeah.
Bobby Chong.
Bobby Chong, air quotes.
And he
here.
thought it was funny, and we're all getting ready to leave, and I go, let me check the door. And it wide open and had the best air conditioning of any place we'd been on the whole trip.
Right. Smead's opened in 1933, has a history of the place on the menu. Great little stop. Nice people.
And a beautiful backyard patio and deck.
Yeah. Yep. Covered in shade.
Anyway, they were very nice. They gave us ice water. Who had a nap? Keith
needed a nap. Took a little power nap on top of the picnic.
I think I have video of that nap, as a matter of fact.
Don't give it to Keith to just
And so we sat up. We both sat in the bar, went back up into the patio, loaded up, and headed into Washougal.
Yeah. No, that was Washougal. We left Washougal and headed towards Camas.
That's right.
Camas, a nice little town. There's a couple of bars there that don't open till like 4. We're a little early for that in Old Town. But we found Adam's Bar and Grill.
That was a cool little bar.
Nice. Yep. Great people.
We met the owner and the owner's wife. She was bartending. No ghosts.
No
ghosts.
A nice place and a nice neon sign up front. And the place next to that was a nice little bar, but it wasn't open yet.
And from there, we headed west again to Vancouver. Stop number 39.
Last and final.
The Tip Top
Tavern.
The Tip Top was...
Helgen, do you remember the long black dress?
When she came in, she was coming to work as we were leaving, and we went, oh my goodness, if we would have started here, we would never have left.
Well, but the lady who was there to begin with, served us, was nice.
She was very nice, but she was all business.
Yeah.
The second one that came in, she was all trouble.
And who was in the wheelchair?
Well, the guy that crashed and burned, he went outside in his wheelchair. And
down he went.
Yeah, and they had
down goes Fraser. Down goes Fraser.
For a second there, I thought it was Bobby Chong.
We were so glad when we finally paid our bill. We were at bar 39.
Sorry,
of 40
Bobby.
Bars at the Tip Top Tavern.
I'm okay.
And we had some really good feedback. We had really good feedback from the social media world saying what a great place that is. And I would just say
that was a nice place.
It was a wonderful stop, and we all decided not to do one more. We didn't need it. We shouldn't have, and we didn't. We still had a 30-minute ride back to the trucks to load up our scooters and get home. And I would say that every year we head into this trip wondering if it's the last one. Always grateful when we finish with the team intact and the scooters still running. Reviewing some of the people we met and the places we went, I still laugh out loud at the things that happened and the ones that didn't happen. Thank God.
And still friends after it all.
Mostly, yes. So thanks to all, to the great servers we met at the cool bars we stopped. Thanks to Eric at Sabatino's Vintage Scooter and Moped, Andrew and the crew at Vespa Portland, the Lutz and Sandy Hut with Jordy, who found us outside and told us it was open and we didn't know it, and even Katie for a great photo op, and Jenny at the Lalo. All of you were memorable for us.
What a great kickoff for season 3.
I think so. And I know there's more that I didn't bring up, but what a wonderful trip. Great job to
pair of
Lizard and Shelly for doing it. 39 bars in 4 days. What a ride. And that's a wrap.
Yep. Thank you, Portland.
Rip City 18.
Yes.
This podcast and all others, including the music by Weeknights, is copyright by Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
You hear that?